This house was built in 1730 by Peter Jefferson, Thomas Jefferson's father. The sprawling estate called Shadwell Plantation covered more than 8,000 acres. Welcome to the channel. And this is where Thomas Jefferson was born on April 13, 1743. Unlike the tidy four walls of Monticello, Shadwell was a large house with many rooms, including a 36 by 18 great hall where the family gathered for meals. In fact, the Jeffersons often hosted parties here with live music, dancing, and card games. It was quite the social scene. But don't be fooled by the facade. Behind these walls were some dark realities. You see, Shadwell thrived due to the labor of over 60 enslaved workers who cultivated tobacco crops and managed the estate as livestock. They lived in small cabins on the property, and their children were born into slavery. Life for them was harsh and unforgiving. And now back to the tour. Thomas Jefferson was the third of 10 children and the first son. He grew up surrounded by siblings, half-sisters, and enslaved workers. His mother, Jane Randolph Jefferson, was a strong and cultured woman who insisted on good manners and classical education for her children. She spared no expense to ensure they received the best education available. Even though the family lived on a plantation, she wanted her children to be refined and cultivated, not crude and unmannered. So she employed governesses and tutors to educate her children at home. Thomas's formal education started when he was 4 years old. His family friend, William Randolph, insisted that the children from his household be educated together. So Thomas and his siblings traveled 25 miles to attend a one-room schoolhouse on Tuckahoe Plantation. There, along with other children from neighboring estates, young Thomas studied grammar, writing, and music. He became an accomplished violinist and spent hours each day practicing. At age 9, the Jefferson family returned to Shadwell, but they didn't stay there. Instead, they moved to a smaller home on the plantation until Shadwell could be made habitable again. This is when Reverend William Douglas became the family's tutor. He taught Thomas Latin, Greek, and French, subjects considered fundamental in classical education. These years were important because they sparked Jefferson's lifelong love of learning and helped him excel at the College of William and Mary. He credited his early education with laying the foundation for his intellectual pursuits throughout his life. In 1757, when Thomas was 14, his father, Peter Jefferson, died. He left his estate, including over 7,200 acres of land and around 30 enslaved people, to his wife and children. At this point, Thomas decided to focus on his education. He enrolled in a boarding school run by Reverend James Morey. In addition to continuing his classical studies, he learned mathematics, natural philosophy, and astronomy. Upon completing his studies, he was considered well-educated and prepared for life as a gentleman farmer or a career in politics. By age 17, it was time for Jefferson to begin his legal studies. He moved to Williamsburg, the capital of Virginia, to attend the College of William and Mary. Here he met two men who would have a profound impact on his intellectual development, Professor William Small and George Wythe. Small introduced Jefferson to Enlightenment thinkers such as John Locke, Isaac Newton, and Francis Bacon. Their ideas about individual rights, democracy, and government deeply influenced Jefferson's philosophy. Meanwhile, Wythe, a respected lawyer, became Jefferson's mentor-in-law. He guided Jefferson through the complexities of legal theory and the practice of law, as well as the importance of Republican ideals and public service. After graduating from William and Mary in 1762, Jefferson continued to study law under Wythe for several years. During this time, he was admitted to the Virginia bar and began practicing law. By 1767, Thomas Jefferson's story was just beginning. He was a young lawyer eager to make his mark on the world. His early life, education, and mentors had shaped him into an intellectual force to be reckoned with. And the American Revolution was just around the corner, a revolution that would change the course of history, and Jefferson would be right in the middle of it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more historical tales.